Today, as we approach the year end, I thought it's a good time just to do a reflection of 2021 and also our plans and strategies for 2022. Today, I've got Kelvin from Kelvin's Learns Investing. Got Alvin, you've seen him in many Tesla and some Apple videos. And we've got Bunti. We had a conversation about portfolio and allocation a couple of months ago. Welcome back to Investing with Daren. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos.
Subscribe to us.
Subscribe to Kelvin Learns Investing.
Not enough subscribers.
Subscribe to Bunti and subscribe to the upcoming crypto channel. Possibly on TikTok.
That's it.
You never know. So that's all this first question to everyone. What is your biggest learning as an investor in 2021?
Me?
You've been arrowed.
Okay, for me, I think the first learning is that when it comes to investing, right, if I have a conviction on something, then just go ahead. Because I think in the past, I've been investing in a way that's too diversified. So there are a couple of stocks that ran out quite nicely this year. For example, like Nvidia, Tesla. So I didn't invest too much, and because of the low allocation, I didn't benefit from that investment. So for me, I think next time if I'm having a high conviction, I will go all in a little bit more. That's all.
So what I'm hearing is it's okay to be less diversified and focus on a few big winners.
Yes.
Alvin?
I mean, to me, right, investing is not a lottery, right? Always think long term, right? And when you think long term, you have to look at really the core fundamental of the company that you're investing or the project that you're investing in, right? So that means they're looking at who are they hiring, what's the product, what are they selling, right? Things like that. And really build your conviction on that rather than just build it off of, say, like DD that you read online, like that on TikTok. So not a very wise decision in the long term, right? You probably lose more than your huge, like a few big wins, right? It's gonna, and there's a lot, like just one loss in one trip, right? Might wipe out like 80%, 100% of your portfolio. So not wise. So think long term.
And what's long term for you? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I mean, it depends on how, like your age group also, right? And if you are already working, then you have like a good income flow, right? Then long term might be like 5-6 years for you. And if you are like really young, I think it's good that you can think like 10-15 years ahead, right? And just have that conviction in like just one stock, Tesla, okay. and just hold on to it, right? And just study about the company, right? And slowly maybe increase your portfolio over time, right? And then over time, once you had that baseline of like experience in the stock market or in the crypto market, then you'll be able to explore other projects or other companies, which are experience that you build on, right? Because no one starts as an expert, right? So
Yes.
you go in and try and be as hungry as possible, right? If you're new, you're young, right? It's a very good opportunity. And if you ask a lot of investors, I think they would say that one of their regret will be not investing early, right? And if you are young, then you have that opportunity or that prime to actually start early. Right?
Start investing as early as you can and take a longer term time frame depending on your stage in life. Kelvin?
Actually, what I want to say, Alvin has already said everything. Basically, for me is I started the year by investing in Tesla. Then, the more I research, the more I found out that you have opportunities everywhere, not just in Tesla. I start with dividend stocks, then I start go into index funds. So earlier this year, I started with options. Then recently, I also started looking into cryptos. So if you miss the run up, don't try to promo in because there are opportunities every day. Yeah, it's literally every day like Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, which are not good examples. You can look into other kind of investments. So yeah, opportunities are everywhere. You can hot big every day.
Yes.
Hot big.
So a big takeaway here is that there are many ways to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
Find the ones that you have conviction in and understand.
Yeah.
For me, my learning is this is strangely my first full year as an investor. I only started investing August last year when I first bought Tesla. And I went through, like Alvin mentioned, a whole gamut of different experiences. I bought GameStop in January this year. I thought, wow, to the moon. I barely broke even. I bought at like 293, I sold at 338. I still got the other 50 GameStop shares I'm just holding for now. It's a paper loss. I'll just hold it. Right? So that's experience. That's more like trading versus investing. And I've learned that because there's so many different styles and approaches to investing, for me, what I felt most comfortable with in this past year was just investing in something that I can physically see, feel, and touch. And you can see cars on the road every day. So something like crypto, while it's so promising, like what Alvin and Kelvin are into, it's something I'm still learning to understand more. So that's my biggest learning as an investor this year. Now, second question, let's talk about our highest conviction long-term investments and why.
So right now it is definitely Tesla. It is 55% of my portfolio, even though I didn't intend it to be like that. But I foresee that going forward it might change. The more stuff that I learn, it will keep changing now. So it may not necessarily be Tesla next year. It may even be like Cardano, Solana next year. So yeah, let's see how.
Okay, so it's current Tesla, it may shift to more crypto. For Kelvin,
For me, I think I would like to say Tesla, but actually it's not Tesla, because when I look at so many people that are very bullish on single companies, right? To me, I feel a bit like there's a bit of hype there. So I myself prefer companies that actually solid in terms of their fundamental, but relatively speaking, less people are talking about it. So I'll just name one example. So I start from Amazon. Amazon, I think let's say if you go back to 5 to 10 years back, it was like the companies that go up like it's like Tesla today. Okay, but now if you pay attention, let's say in the past 1 to 2 years, there aren't that many retail investors that shopping, wow, Amazon, right? Because they already get into the mature, slightly mature stage, and but if you look at the business, they are not stopping either, because in terms of their revenue, they are still growing. The cloud space is still very promising, tons of growth, and they're just executing, right? So I think this is why if I compare how much attention that people give into these stocks versus the fundamentals and what they are doing now, I think this is a very promising company that I'm very bullish on.
so Amazon, Bunti's highest conviction investment. Not something you hear often in 2021, but an interesting perspective.
Yeah, you know what's coming from me. Right? So, if I was still in the focus on the traditional equity market, I'd probably say Tesla. Right, that was actually one of the first stock that I bought. Right, but moving into 2022, I'm more looking for newer like companies or projects to invest in. And I think my long-term conviction will be Cardano. It's a crypto project. I think fundamentally the project has done well in a lot of ways, right? The teaming, the roadmap, right? And how it's gonna scale as a decentralized protocol, right? Which it has a vision to over time become more and more decentralized, right? And the recent upgrade to the protocol releases like smart contract, things like that, which developers are building now, right? Are building on it. So I think over time we're gonna see more and more, say, apps and offering from Cardano, and I think that what excites me, right? Because it's like Tesla like 5 years ago. They have a good team of engineering experts, right? Of good leadership, and over time you see that translate into product, right? And people start using it, and that's where you see the value of the company, in this case the token will appreciate, right? So again, not there for the short term win, right? If you are there and you get short term win, good, right? But then it's easy to like lose it all, I feel, right, in the short term, right? I mean, because I've seen that in 2017, 2018. So long term conviction, I need to convince Alvin, Cardano, right? We'll see. Yeah, but it's gonna be Cardano.
Cardano in the crypto world. For me, currently my highest conviction investment for long term is Tesla. It's 85% of my publicly held equity, and I built confidence by doing a lot more research. I've always been a fan of Tesla and SpaceX, even before investing in them many years ago. And I think this YouTube channel gives me the opportunity just to really understand it a lot more from the driver's perspective, the employee's perspective, investors, industry perspective. So yeah, my conviction is very high on Tesla. But again, that's very unique because I have a YouTube channel talking about Tesla. So I think about it very regularly. So there may be also some confirmation bias there. So that's me. Last question to everyone. What's going to be our approach for 2022 when it comes to investing?
I think for 2022, I'm going to look for a project that excites me or a company that excites me. I think I've been looking at Tesla for way too long, like since 2015. Right? I've been looking at Tesla and seeing growth, right? Now Elon Musk doesn't even attend the quarterly call anymore. Which is a good sign, right? And so like 2022, looking for like smaller company that builds product that excites me. So one of the company that I look at is Arrival. They do product that looks really sexy, right? And the team seems to be fairly solid. I mean, time will tell, right? But based on the research that I've done, seems pretty good. I think bad for now for a young company. I think they believe they just IPO only. I have a lot more allocation in crypto, right? I try and tread a bit carefully because when the market is overheated, right, you tend to have that euphoria that hey, I'm actually a good investor, right? I'm doing good and earning good money, but you need to have that self-control to know like when the market is overheated and when to stop and scale back, right? So that you capture a bit of that profit, right? Which can be hard to do at times. So probably go back into that. Doesn't mean that I'll abandon the crypto market. I'm still like in the crypto for a long time, very very long time, right? I think I live in the metaverse now, so yeah, fun fact. So and yeah, so scaling back into the traditional equity market with Arrival being one of the companies I'm going to look at. And then and recently I also bought SpaceX through a fund, which is very exciting and kind of track how the company will go and launch more rocket to the moon.
To the moon. So in the last video with us, you mentioned you were 99% crypto. What's the mix going to be in 2022?
20 to 30% probably something that I would do, right? Maybe more, I don't know. But yeah.
So about 70% crypto, 20-30% equities.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm still in crypto long term, right? Because I do invest in solid project, fundamental, that's really good, not meme project, right? So I don't really lose sleep over losses, right? Crypto is smaller company, right? But it's just a lot of exciting things happening over there. That's why I'm there.
One thing?
For me, I think I will actually agree with what Alvin just said about the market. A bit feeling overheated.
Yeah.
It's true for stock market and it's true for crypto market as well. So I myself is a little bit worried on the valuation now. So what I will do for 2022 is I think two things. Number one is that I will reduce my leverage. Although I don't start my portfolio with currently my leverage is not like super high, but still I want to bring it down. Let's say like keeping 0% in cash and not too much in margin. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is that when I look at the allocations in my stock portfolio, right, I think I will make the core companies be basically increase the allocations to my core companies, because I think sometimes when it comes to defensive, right, it's about like how much conviction that I have. And after investing in the past 1 year, I realized that there are a couple of small names in my portfolio that those belong to like just testing out, just want to invest a little bit to increase the incentive for me to research more into the company. But I feel that with the recent small drawdown, I think that I actually don't have much conviction in those companies. So at least I will keep that small and then increase my allocation to companies that I have high conviction, like Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, these companies. So,
So the team here is in higher concentration next year on a few bigger bets.
yes.
Alvin?
For me, as according to my YouTube name, Calvin loves investing. For next year, my plan is to learn more about investing. For stocks, I need to learn more about option strategies. So the current one I only know is just all the basic stuff. So I plan to learn more about all the more advanced options strategy. Then I also talked to another YouTuber about investing in growth stocks. So he doesn't look for big names like Tesla, Apple. He look for very small cap companies. So I also plan to try out their route because it seems very promising. You can find the smaller companies and you can 5x, 10x really quickly. That's for stocks. Then for crypto, I plan to look into more crypto projects. Then the second one is I plan to look also into NFT games because that's my specialization. I'm into game programming, so I think I know a bit about that sector. So yeah, all the different things for next year.
For me, I'm going to get my first Tesla vehicle next year. It's a Model Y. Kelvin's now thinking, oh damn it, what a noob. That 200,000 can be reinvested and make so much more on crypto. So I think of it as a balance between growing your wealth and also living in the moment. I think everyone has a different balance in that. And being a Tesla owner myself would allow me to better understand again the user experience and also evangelize the brand, meet the community a little bit more. And I'm going to deepen my conviction in Tesla by again doing what I'm doing, interviewing people, going to gigafactories, understanding the company. And I'm also hoping to learn about options, where some of us are already investing in. And I hear that, especially if you have high conviction in a certain stock, trading options on it is not a bad thing. It's a way of getting the stock at a discount anyway. You already plan to get it eventually. And like Alvin, I want to invest in SpaceX or Starlink next year. So I need sufficient capital to do that. So working hard to get there. So that's my approach for next year. That, thank you for hearing from us. If you like this video, please click like button. Hit subscribe to all the YouTube channels and future channels out here. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Right.
Bye bye.